Hey guys, in exactly 2 weeks the new Abattoire of Zir event will go live, so the new endgame dungeon content for Diablo 4, and I think it's a good timing to prepare for this event. And today I want to give you some tips on how you can prepare for that, and also will provide you with free updated rogue builds which I have optimized for this new endgame content. Before we start, I also want to thank you guys for reaching, giving me more than 1000 subs. So I'm very close to 1k subs. I think I only need 3 or so. So I'm quite confident I will get them very soon. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And maybe I'll do a special, but I'm not sure yet. So yeah, we'll see. But back to the video. So if you didn't know, there will be this new endgame event, like I mentioned. To participate, you need to finish your Season of Blood journey, your seasonal journey, and you need to reach level 100 with your character at least. So then you can participate in this new endgame content, where you will have up to 25 tiers of dungeons. And these dungeons are probably very, very difficult. So you have monster levels starting at level 155, and also you will have a timer. So you will need to kill enough monsters in some amount of time, and also kill the boss in time, I believe, in order to finish this dungeon. So you will not only need a lot of defenses to survive this higher and higher scaling monsters, but you also need build which is capable of dealing a lot of damage. So yeah, it will be quite a challenge, but I'm very excited about this event, and yeah, we'll see. But you also will be leveling new glyphs. So there will be this unique glyph called Tears of Blood, and this glyph could be very important because this will further increase your damage by a significant amount, and I will show you later in my planner how much of damage this will give you according to the things we know so far. So this glyph will be very important in this pushing process for the higher tiers of Abattoire of Zir. But let's just start with my builds. So I have 3 builds today, and all of these builds, if you're watching my videos regularly, you should be familiar with these builds already. So we have the Barber Rogue, we have the pure Poison Rogue, so classic Twisting Blades Poison Imbuement Rogue, and the hybrid of Poison Rogue and Rain of Arrows Rogue. So the Barber Rogue, this is my recent build I have uploaded on my channel. You can check out the guide on my channel. It's the latest video. And here I can show you some gameplay for all of you who didn't watch this video. So the idea of Barber Rogue is we are playing, it's basically a ranged rogue. We're playing a combination of Penshot and Rapid Fire. And we have a nice time to kill, because we're also playing with the Victimize passive from Rogue. This Victimize passive kind of behaves like Barber, because it just the enemies that we kill or deal damage to, they explode in a huge shadow explosion, which deals a lot of AoE damage. And you can see this build, is capable of very quickly and easy killing all kind of stuff. Also here you can see I'm 1 or 2 shotting basically an entire elite pack. So the damage is not really a problem in this build, and also our survivability is quite high. We are reaching about 19k armor, so I think this is more armor than you will actually need, and I will talk about armor in a second. We also have very nice damage reduction thanks to the Dark Shroud. So we are having, actually all the time, we are proccing our aspect, which gives us this Dark Shrouds, and this leads into a total damage reduction of 40%. So yeah, we are quite tanky, quite fast, and dealing a lot of damage. So this is the Barber Rogue. Okay, and this build, I actually already optimized this build for Abattoire of Zir when I made this, because this was my recent build. And yeah, so all you have to do is check out the latest versions on my planner. I will link them as usual in the description. So here the latest 3 versions, Barber, Barber Uber and Barber Uber Glyph. These are my latest versions which are optimized for Abattoire of Zir. And the best one is Barber Uber. So if you have the Uber items, in this case Doombringer, if you have Doombringer, then this is the version you should play, or I at least recommend you playing. And now I want to talk a bit about defenses and all the important stuff that you need in order to prepare your build for Abattoir of Zir. So the first important thing, obviously you want to cap out your resistances. So this is already recommended in the current content of the game, so also for tier 100 dungeons, for example. And especially in Abattoir of Zir, you need to cap out your resistances, otherwise you will have some problems with elemental damage. Then the second important thing is armor. So maybe you have heard this already. Basically every content creator or streamer, YouTuber is telling you you need at least 15k armor. And this is what we know so far based on the scaling of the monsters. We will probably need 15,000 armor in order to survive in the Abattoir of Zir event. So with this build, here you can see I have over 12,000 armor on my planner. And here you just need to be a bit careful. If I have 12,000 armor on my planner, this means in-game I have about 11k armor. So here Maxroll GG doesn't properly calculate this armor here. So you always need to subtract about 1k armor. But since I'm playing with Disobedience on my necklace, so I'm getting up to 99% increased armor. And this is proccing all the time basically because I'm dealing a lot of AoE damage in this build. And also with Poison Trap. I have a lot more armor than here. So like I mentioned, with this build I have 19k armor all the time basically. So this is even more than probably needed, but 15k is a good starting point, I'd say, for every build if you want to try out Abattoir of Zir. But here you can see this build has resistance capped and armor capped, so everything good. Then like I mentioned, we have a lot of damage reduction with this Umbrous aspect for Dark Shroud. And yeah, this is the build. I already showed it in my recent video. You can check it out here. And the only thing that I further optimized was the Paragon board. So here you can see this is like my normal Paragon board for this build. And what I did now is I added this new version called Barber Uber Glyph. So glyph means the new Abattoir of Zir glyph, Tears of Blood. And here I put it into my starting board. And after some thinking, I believe that the starting board is actually quite good place to put in the new glyph. So here you just want to take every core stat that's available. Basically everyone, so for example this one I didn't take, but yeah, basically everyone. And then you will get a lot of damage, as you can see here. So this glyph at level 50 will probably give you over 800% increased multiplicative damage. So this is very, very much. And yeah, one reason why I like it on the starting board as well is you have some armor here. So this also gives you some bonus to rare nodes in this board. So I think more armor is also nice to have. And yeah, I think the starting board is actually quite good for Rogue class to put in your Tears of Blood glyph. And here I made a mistake, but yeah, the rest of the Paragon board looks like that. So I will link everything in the description and you can check it out by yourself. So yeah, this is what I basically did. I updated my latest builds and I'm updating, for every build, I'm updating the Paragon board with the new glyph. So the next build, or yeah, I think if you want to learn more about this build, just check out my video as I mentioned. And in this video I will just quickly go over each build and give you some insights on my updates. So the second build is the classic Poison Rogue with Twisting Blades. In this variant I'm also playing with the new Malignant Ring, but you will see in a second that I actually removed this ring from my current setup. But it's yeah, the classic Twisting Blades rogue. You scale your damage with poison, so you have very nice single target damage, especially versus bosses. Probably the best yeah, boss damage for the rogue class with Twisting Blades, Poison Rogue. And you also have some decent amount of AoE, so we are playing with the X-File rings, so we are proccing this poison explosions from time to time, and also Twisting Blades has some kind of AoE, you could say. So yeah, classic Twisting Blades rogue. I think you guys should be familiar with it. And yeah, I also updated this version, and one big update or one big change here is I'm playing with Thibault's Will now. So when I first made this video, I didn't play with Thibault's Will because this pants is obviously bugged, and I believe that Blizzard will fix this bug quite fast, but it seems that they have no interest right now to nerf anything and also remove some bugs like this one here. So this pants is bugged with combo points. We are getting much more combo points and much more damage if we are playing Thibault's Will and combine it with Condemnation. So we have up to 23 combo points then. This is the Thibault's Will bug. So yeah, this pants right now is just OP. So for this reason, I'm playing with this pants in every rogue build right now. So yeah, it's the new rogue meta, it seems. So if they don't nerf it, then we just need to accept this as a new meta. And yeah, this is the one huge change I did here. Then I removed the rings, so the Malignant Ring Band of Trickery. I removed it for having, so I can have more space for offensive aspects. Because in this version, so in the Uber Abattoir of Zir Uber version, I'm playing with Doombringer and Harlequin Crest. So I just don't have space for this ring, and I think it's not really needed. If you have Doombringer and Harlequin Crest, you should have a lot of damage reduction this way, so you don't really need this ring. But you can check out by yourself all these versions. So here A or Z, this means Abattoir of Zir. So this 3 versions, you can check them out. And Abattoir of Zir, this is the version without Ubers. And here you can see I'm also playing without the string, but here I made some change. I put this cheats death aspect on my necklace. So I have 37% damage reduction versus crowd control enemies, and we are crowd controlling enemies all the time with Penitent Greaves. So also without the Uber uniques in this version, you also are still quite tanky. Still have a lot of armor and a lot of damage reduction. So yeah, basically with armor, you just need to reach 11k armor in game with the disobedience aspect on with a max rolled disobedience aspect. So here 12k more, I have more than 12k on the planner, so this means in game I have something about 11k to 11.5k thousand armor. So yeah, just enough of disobedience to reach your armor cap of 15,000. So yeah, this is Poison Rogue. Yeah, you can also check it out by yourself with the new Paragon board here with the glyph. But by the way, I would recommend you, like the glyph, you should level up it first. You should first level up to level 50 or something. So I think it's a good idea to start with a normal Paragon board. So here I have always the normal version of Abattoir of Zir, and this is like your starting point where you should start a new event, and after leveling the glyph you can replace it at some point. So yeah, I don't know exactly when, but yeah, maybe at level 20 or 50 when you have some decent increased damage. So yeah, that's how I would do it. And the last build, my Rain of Arrows Rogue. So this was the first build that I have made a guide for, I believe, this season. So also very powerful build. Rain of Arrows basically 1 or 2 shots the entire screen. So damage is not really a problem with this build. A bigger problem could be survivability, because the big disadvantage of this build is you need to evade a lot through enemies in order to reduce your cooldowns. And you also have a very long and slow casting animation. So you're casting your rain of arrows. It takes some time. It takes about half a second up to 1 second, depends on your attack speed and your weapon, crossbow or bow. So in this 1 second, let's say, where you're casting your rain of arrows, you are quite, it's quite dangerous for you. So you are very sensible to damage and could die very quickly. So for this reason, I have updated this build and put in the new Band of Trickery ring. So this ring is a very nice addition in this build because it just makes you kinda invincible for 3 seconds and also taunts enemies so they all go in the same direction. So it's a very nice synergy with Rain of Arrows, I believe. And also some change is, again, I put in the T-Bolt's Will Pants now, so we are dealing even more damage. And don't have any resource problems anymore if we are fighting bosses. And with this build especially, I have actually made 4 versions. So I have the Abattoir of Zir, like the normal Abattoir of Zir starting point version. Then, of course, again, Abattoir of Zir with Uber items. So here again with Doombringer. You can see all of my rogue builds are playing with Doombringer in the Uber versions. So if you have a Doombringer, then very nice for you. And again, here the version with the glyph. So again, Tears of Blood glyph in the starting board. So you can check out the different versions here. But in the Rain of Arrows version or build, I also have this boss switch variant. And the boss switch, the idea of the boss switch variant is that we are playing a hybrid build here. So if we are playing the normal, like here the Abattoir of Zir, the normal version, this build is optimized for dungeon clears. So we are focusing on the Rain of Arrows ultimate skill, and this is a completely potent Rain of Arrows build. But when we fight the boss, which will also have a lot of life, and I think with Rain of Arrows this could be a little bit difficult killing this boss in a reasonable time. So then what we do is we can switch some items. So you just need to select this version here, boss switch. And then you will see I'm replacing my necklace, I'm replacing a ring and a weapon, I think. So here you can take a look. Yeah, I'm replacing 3 items. And after replacing 3 items, and also I'm switching to combo points, this becomes a very nice boss killer build. So I just switched from Rain of Arrows into basically Twisting Blades Poison Rogue boss killer. So this is something you could do if the bosses are very, very tanky in the new event, which I believe will be the case. So with switching some items and changing to combo points, and you could also switch to Ravenous in your vampiric powers, you entirely change your setup and become a very potent boss killer build. So this is something you could do with this build, and here I have made this variant for you guys. So yeah, these are my 3 builds. I think it's a very good starting point for the new event, and I will also try out one of them at least in this new event. So I think I will start with the Barber Rogue, just because this was my recent rogue build, and I just want to keep things as I have right now. And yeah, it's a very good starting point, but I think all of these 3 builds are capable of pushing very high into the new Abattoire of Zir event. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys and inspired you for some rogue builds. And we will see latest in 2 weeks in the Abattoir of Zir, and maybe even before I will do some further videos. We'll see, maybe the special for 1000 subs. So thank you again, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'd say have a nice day and see you in the next one. Bye bye.